Hey, welcome to Process. My name is Dr. John Bush. You should immediately stop and go to part 3A, running backs. Okay, so I'm assuming you've already seen that, and I'm moving forward, kind of backtracking a little bit with the COM data, the counts over median weekly consistency tool. If you don't know what that means, you need to start all the way back and get some education here. Okay. I had left off setting the table on predictions. In other words, when people on Twitter talk about, I don't know, flying yards or whatever, or tumble feet or whatever they've come up with, do they ever talk about predictions? In other words, have they tested the predictive nature of these mysterious stats? You're just saying, well, Dr. Bush, is that what you're doing here? Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing a beta test, started last year, looking now this year how predictive it was. What you see here is a population of running backs, 4 different groups, and these were divided based on the preceding year's consistency numbers. And then I asked the question, what did those running backs do the next year, right? So 2021, what did they do 2022? Okay, with the goal that 2022 lets us look into 2023, right, to predict that. So the benchmarks are 56% COM, which is, what is that, close to 10 games-ish out of 16 that are consistent. The next was 30 to 56, those running backs. The next third group was 15 to 30. So we're talking really sucky here. And then below 15, but, greater, equal to 0. So we have 4 groups. And I'll show you some numbers, the box and whisker numbers. And the best in the groups are shown here. And the top of the box to the best is the top 25% of that group. And so last year, if they scored 56% COM or better, the next year, 25% of them deliver 71 to 100% consistency. The greater than 30 but less than 56, the 25% of those the next year went from 44, so about, we're talking suck level compared to the other group, but 93. So there's a lot of variation there. Look at the variation. And then 15 to 30 went from 31 to 63. So the greatest variation and is the second group. So if you really want to spend some time on your, quote, sleepers, whatever that means, to me, a sleeper is a running back that was in this part last year that's going to produce an extreme level, at least 80% or better. That's a sleeper to me. Okay, and then here is the others. And these numbers here are These are dots. That means such an extreme over 8 years. This is 8 years of data testing from 2014 to 2022. And of course, 2023 will be using 2022 as our predictor. And so that will go into the database. This will change a little bit. I use analysis of variance to test, is this real? In other words, people say, oh, high versus low. Is that real? Well, first, you can see the pattern is mimicking an exponential distribution pattern. But is this real? Boy, it sure looks real. Okay, but how do we know for sure? We use analysis of variance, compare the variation in the 4 groups. And if that is different, then we use the Tukey testing to compare one group to the other. And again, the means are 53% because this is just not percentage here, so there's no percent here. But 50, because the software I use doesn't like percentage, so you have to convert them to a decimal. 53, 28, 20, and 10. So you don't want to fish over here if these are real. Is this real or is this by chance? The answer is you got an F stat of 95, the results here. The p-value is 0.001. So yes, this is real, folks. This metric is real. It's predictive. Bam. It's not a guess. It's not something somebody stumbled onto in a drunken dream, okay, on Twitter, whatever. I don't know what these fools are doing, okay? Then we look group to group. Long story short, if you look at the predictiveness, every group is different from every other group. So this is different from these three. This is different, lower than this, but higher than these two. This is lower than these two, but higher than this. And of course, this is lower than the other three. So these are real, they're predictive, and they are different and distinct. So that means we can go hunting our 2022 COM data to give us an idea of what might happen in 2023 with these variations, including that second group. It's a little bit tricky there, but we'll see what all that means. And just to give you an idea, what are we talking about difference-wise? The best group last year is 50% better than the group under it, 61%, two groups under it, 82% better, three groups of the last group. The second group is 38% better than the third and 65% better than the last. And the third group is 50% better than the last. So basically, below 15% COM, there's some, you saw the examples in 8 years, right? Stats is not always, okay? It's a trend, it's a tendency, but extremes happen, right? Black swans happen. This is what this is telling us. So if we do a bar graph here and look at these groups, COMs here, and we look at the distribution of the next year, the green is the best, right? Top 10%. And you can see, for the most part, yeah. And even the second group, the top, third or something, I believe I put, much better. So you're going to do really good with running backs that were in 2022 above 56%. Notice there's a few, okay? So there can be some failures, not many. 4, look at the failure here, 35, oh my goodness. What is that, 8, 10? That's what, 9%? 9 times more failures in this group? What is this? What is that? 11 more failures than this group? And look at the failures here, 118. Oh my goodness. So when you look at the distribution, and you can see the normal distribution, look where this is hanging. Okay, look where this is hanging. The next group. Okay, look where this. Look how tight. So the distributions pretty much are confirming that these are predictable slices that we should pay attention to. So, with that said, here are your 2022 top best running backs above 56%. Here they are, and I broke them by tiers. The 80-20, okay, we expect 80% of these to do good, so 20% won't do so good. So 2 out of 10 So who is the failures here? Okay. Who are the failures here? That's what you want to look at. If Jacobs doesn't sign, I guess he could be the failure. So I am been grabbing these accordingly. Pollard maybe a little high. Connor's a little low. Ezekiel, if he can find a team. Walker's not bad. Chubb and Mixon, don't forget them. Okay. Again, you've got to have your price point too, right? You just don't blindly follow any of this. Here's the next group. Okay. And these are your next group here. So there are going to be some extremes. If you find sleepers, they're going to be here. So who are we missing here, folks? Nice groups here. And by the way, I'll have all these on the article. You can study this at your leisure here. There's some that are deep. I know Mr. Knight is deep. Okay. I don't know if Marlon Mack's even playing. Okay. Colbin, I don't think, is playing. Jonathan Taylor, boy, the mighty have fallen. And I'll also show you the previous years if you want to see. He fell last year. So, some of your sleepers, look at Melvin Gordon just got signed. Okay, so there you go. Melvin Gordon, everybody kind of, it doesn't change it. Well, all I can say is he delivered 30% comms. Okay. Was that about five games above median? Hey, I'll take that as a low RB4. Oh, yeah. And you can probably get him as an RB6 at this point. Patterson, intriguing. Mostert, intriguing. So there's a lot of intriguing names here. Again, you got to slap ADPs to it. I'm circling back around. I'm going to get this list, and we're going to talk about ADPs in a lesson towards the back end. I'm just showing you the predictive nature and trying to show you we can trust this data here. Oh, I forgot to show you this. This is great data. So we can, the best running backs, 45% success, the next 15, the next 7 and 5. So it really sucks. And here's 36% in the next group. So almost 80% of these guys are going to return value. So it's an 80-20. That's where I came up with this split here. So that's where the 40-60 comes from here, right here. This is 60% bad, 40% good. So that means that 60% chance you reach into here, you lose. 40% you win. Hey. Okay, so that's where that number comes from, is used in this chart here. So that's where those numbers come from. And here's the sadness. 18% any kind of success, 82% failure. So everybody's saying Madison. Man, I know you showed us some extremes. He might be an extreme. There's enough fish for me to fry. I'll let you draft him. And I say good luck, and you may beat me, and that'd be great. Good for you. But Hunt's doesn't have a team. Boy, he's fallen. Cook, 12%. There's some sadness in this. This is best ball candidates. You hope that they move up the rankings here. Same thing with a lot of these here. So you'll have a lot of time, because I'll post these on my article here. Okay. So here we go. I will stop what I'm doing and